All right, well, the five-door Thar, known as the Thar Rocks, is finally arrived into the Indian markets. And what really sets apart the Thar from the five-door versus the three-door is the design. And now I'm going to speak to the head of design for Mahindra, Mr. Pratap, who will be telling us how and what differentiates this car. And Mr. Pratap, thank you so much for joining us. A cult following this car has always had in India. You came out with a three-door car to make it more, affordable, make it more accessible to the Indian audiences. Now a five-door. First of all, I'll ask you: do you think now this has a capability to become a family-oriented car as well? What's your thinking on that?
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is exactly the kind of question we wanted to answer while creating the rocks. We feel that the Thar brand is an extremely strong, iconic brand, and we also feel that it can be a family of vehicles, and this happens to be a vehicle for a family, right? Because it's much more refined. There's the ingress egress to the back row. There's a lot more storage. The infotainment, we brought in Adrenox. We brought in trimming in leatherette. So it's got much more of the creature comforts for those who want it, but still want to be a part of the Thar family. Which the three-door Thar is for those absolute die-hard off-road fans, whereas this is much more refined, much more mainstream in its appeal.
Also, if you could give us 3 to 4 highlights, Pratap, of what really changes in this segment now, in this car. What's new that we have? We see the six-pack grills that you've been mentioning about in the morning, the C-shaped lights. Tell us more. What are the key highlights that you think will differentiate this car now?
Yeah. So look, when you talk about car design and especially something that's iconic, every element of the car, even if you see it without the rest of the car, should be recognizable. So I see a person, I know just from the eyes who that person is, or I see someone's nose or someone's mouth. Same way in car design, every element that you see should actually speak about what that car belongs to. So for example, when you will see these
Show us that.
when you will see the C-shaped DRL in your rear view mirror or coming in front of you, even at night where you can't see the rest of the car, you will definitely recognize it to be the rocks. Like I said, I love the six-pack grill. It's about muscle, it's about presence, but not aggression. It's strength without aggression. And then as you go around the car, there are more elements that make it absolutely
Let's actually visit
recognizable.
that site.
Yeah.
And we have been speaking about, in fact, to our viewers, if standing in on the main road with a packed traffic, Mr. Bose has always been telling us what really will set this car apart is the C pillar, and we have a slope down here which will actually, differentiate the car. So, what was the thinking behind this?
Yeah. So if you see, for the rear door, actually, there's a little notch which goes all the way up, and it comes down. So if you see, there's a notch here, and it comes down in what we call the ridge, and you can see a little Thar climbing there as well. And then we hit the door handle here. We wanted to give it a real pickup truck kind of silhouette as well. You can see that the graphic also, the black comes all the way down here. In most two-tone roofs, the black sort of ends up here. We have brought it all the way down so it completes this graphic. And like I said, in traffic, when you're besides the rocks, you're in your own car and you're looking out of the window, you will just see this little feature or this, or maybe the wheel only. You can't see the rest of the car. Again, you will immediately know that next to you is a rocks, and hopefully you get into one of your own.
And I want to ask about the design of the wheels because I've met you earlier in your earlier assignments as well. You've been very passionate about the alloy wheels that you put in your car. You go meticulously into the designing of the
That's
alloys.
right.
So what? I'm sure there's a story to this also. What's the story behind the alloys then?
So of course, me and Velu, we always discuss between design and engineering. What is the balance? And my request to Velu is, because the car is growing in length and width actually over the three-door Thar, I really wanted to give it a sizable wheel size. So this is a 19-inch alloy, as you know, and then 5-spoke, which should also look dynamic. It should look strong but dynamic. And someone pointed out yesterday, we are doing this rock on. It's a rock star, and we are doing this sort of symbol. So it's 5 of them repeated on the wheel. That wasn't the intention, by the way. Someone pointed it out to me, so it was a happy coincidence. Yeah, but we want always wheels to look strong. They're like the shoes of the car. When you wear a suit, you have to wear a certain kind of shoe. When you're at the beach, you wear slippers. So every car actually has its pair of shoes, and we gave it, this 5-spoke, 19-inch set of wheels.
And the viewers would also want to know the story behind how aggressively you had to go back to the drawing board post the 3-door Thar, because it's almost a very changed car. The design language, the elements are totally different. How much time did it take you? Tell us the inside story. How much time did it take you to get back to those drawing books, do the coloring, get it approved by the design team? Give us those details.
Yeah, so the absolute initial idea was that we will just lengthen the car, add 2 doors, and that's it. So you would have literally a longer version of the 3-door, but in a 5-door Avatar. Then as we thought about, so that's what we started with. Then as we thought more and as we started to get the positioning a little more clear, you asked just now about positioning. We said the segment in which we have to play, the product has to be much, much more sophisticated. Much more sophisticated, the refinement, all of that. With that, Velu and team in MRV created the new M-Glide platform. So the suspension underwent a complete revamp. The frame itself, you saw that today. So as the product, let's say, ambition grew, we had to keep up with the sort of what the design would express. So if the dynamics is of a certain kind, there's a stability, there's a presence on the road. So we had to again go back to the drawing board to start establishing a few more of those things that reflect the product itself. And in the interior, it's a completely different space. So, you can see the trimmed IP, the leatherette on the seats, the ventilation, the space, the rear aircon. These are completely, not in a Thar, but part of the segment in which it will play. Right. So that's what we had to cater for.
And last question, what does this signify? What is the story behind this? I've always been wanting to ask you, and I know there might be some internal things, but give us a hint of why this particular design that we have the camel and the Thar climbing up.
Of course, this the ROXX has left the camel behind.
Oh, okay, that's the story.
It's able to, sort of go where even a camel can't go. But more than that, we feel the Thar, especially as a brand name, is something that the owner really loves. And the owner, maybe on a weekend, will come with a cleaning cloth and a bucket of water and soap and clean the car himself or herself.
That's what the Thar owners do.
And even if they don't know this in the showroom, right? The Thar owner is cleaning it one Sunday afternoon and he sees this little element. It's just that little Easter egg, what we call. It just brings a smile to the face. I had this car for a year and never noticed. But today I'm washing it, I noticed something else. So it's a playful element. I think just keeps the interest in the product.
Indian audiences want these little things because we are very price sensitive, but we want features. But a little bit of personalization always helps. But thank you so much for joining our business today. Pleasure is always to speak to you. Thank you, Pratap. Thank you.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.